get volcanic eruptions, fissure eruptions. They can be quite impressive. All those burning lava fountains shooting up to the air. It looks like a ball of fire. And the new lava coming up is filling the gap between those two continental plates, drifting apart. In other words, it is healing the wound. That's how the volcanism of the continental line has built up the mid-Atlantic ridge where we are arriving now. I will come back to the plate tectonic drift, ladies and gentlemen, after a few minutes.
Your other left, okay? Let's see.
This was the office again. There were some few people there going to join us from the next stop from the break we are going to take. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are somewhere between the continental plates and the volcanic belt. We just left the North American continental plate behind us when my phone was ringing. And we shall enter the Eurasian continental plate after some 5, 6, 7 minutes. Believe it or not. And the lava field we are crossing right now up here came during an eruption in the year 1000. How do we know that? Well, it was written down. The old manuscripts, the sagas, are not only telling us about crazy and cruel Vikings becoming heroes of their time. We can learn a lot about what was going on here. After more than 1,000 years, there is just some moss growing on it. Will never be cultivated. The farmlands we will see later en route were formed by glaciers during the Ice Age and outwashed from the melting glaciers in the end of it. But the volcanic belt is not useless, therefore. Down here below us are tremendous resources of steam. Water, like rainwater, is seeking into the ground. When it gets near the hot lava, it changes to steam. Steam takes more space than water. We get an overpressure. That's why there are hot springs. So there is a lot of steam down here, and we take advantage of that. We drill for steam, like others for oil or gas. We do not have that. Iceland is too young. We drill for steam. 2,000 meters deep, then the steam is shooting up under extreme pressure, strong enough to run turbines, generating electricity. Then we lead the same steam into heat exchangers, where we heat up fresh water. Then we lead the hot water in pipelines to the nearby towns and villages, headed to the underground central heating system, on into the apartments, radiators, kitchens, and bathrooms. What a luxury, isn't it? We can use the same steam twice. Gives us light and heat. If you look here, between 9 and 10 o'clock, there are 2 geothermal power plants here. We got 8 of them in total. Further north, further west, all of them standing in the volcanic belt. And furthermore, ladies and gentlemen, this is the island of the glaciers, glacial rivers, waterfalls and bridges, and hydropower stations. Got many of them in the highlands, in the interior. We are blessed with natural energy resources. Hot water and electricity are almost for free, extremely cheap. Everything else is rather expensive. Sometimes we can explain it, not always. Certain things are overpriced. And then we must keep in mind we are among the smallest nations in the world, with some 350,000 souls on this rather big island, sharing the cost costs for infrastructure, services offered. Therefore, many things will always cost more per capita than elsewhere. Except hot water and electricity, it's almost for free. Experts believe the living standard would be up to 15% lower on the island without our natural energy resources. That matters, 15%. Take a look to the left, there is a crater, we could look into it. Steam coming up at the roots of the crater, no wonder. Now we are up here on the pass. I was telling you about the plate tectonic drift, how the continental plates are pulling at the crust, and how the volcanism of the continental line has built up the mid-Atlantic ridge, and that's where we are. So Iceland exists thanks to the tectonic drift. It is just an extended part of the mid-Atlantic ridge. Reason: the volcanism between North America and Europe has been concentrating for some few millions of years on the area we call Iceland. Now it's new land here, still creating itself and all volcanic. But what if there is not enough lava coming up between those two continental plates, still drifting apart? Then we get a rift valley, and we shall go there, not now but in the afternoon. It is just a limited part of the continental line where we can experience such a thing. The rift valley might be 30 kilometers long, 7 kilometers wide. Then it starts all over again, like an ongoing volcanic mountain ridge up to the northeast, to the Mivat Lake, northeast. So, we left the North American continental plate a few minutes ago. We're on our way to the Eurasian one. We shall enter the North American continental plate again in the afternoon, driving back to Reykjavik from the Rift Valley in the National Park in Thingvellir. That's how it goes. We are traveling on the National Road number 1 right now, ladies and gentlemen, and will be for a short while. Often called the Ring Road, the most important link between the capital and other regions in Iceland. Since we got no trains here, there are no railways, won't make any sense. So therefore we depend on our highways for transport of all kind, as well as coastal shipping and domestic flights. And you see in the winter, yeah, the weather can be pretty wild up here. We clean the road night and day as long as we can, but sometimes it makes no sense anymore. And it's closed for a day or a night, let's say, for a night. Which is the place. Now I'm going to grip the other microphone again for a while because something disturbs the other one. It's connected to the radio, the other one. We look 2 o'clock further away. You can see the coastline, the ocean foam, the southern lowland. The southern lowland, we will see it after 1 minute, is some kind of new land, not only due to the... Let us go back to the last ice age. Iceland might have looked like Greenland, and all the heavy ice pushed it down. When the ice melted, the land started to rise, still does, and the southern lowland came slowly out of the ocean. At the same time, outwash from the melting glaciers was carried down to the sea. Gravel, sand, volcanic ash, mud. The ocean Waves always pushing it back a little bit. Still, there is a lot of such material in our many glacial rivers, washed down to the sea, pushed back by the ocean foam. Since the end of the Ice Age, the coastline has moved from those mountains straight ahead, about 20 up to 30 kilometers further south, and still does. Iceland gets bigger and bigger in that sense, due to the tectonic drift as well. If we look 2 o'clock, we see the coastline further back, and then there is a glacial river, a big one. We will see that river again in the highlands, visiting the golden waterfall Gullfoss later today. And now here at the roots, one of several greenhouse villages in the south. Reykjavik is the name of that place. Reykjavik, if I interpret that, it means hot spring garden. There are so many hot springs down there. There is even a geothermal field in the middle of town. You see the steam coming up everywhere in the area. There are many greenhouses in the greenhouse village, and you see, this is an earthquake area here. Everywhere, continental plates are drifting apart like in Iceland, or pushing on each other, or under each other like elsewhere. We can expect heavy earthquakes, and we are prepared for them. At least we believe we are. Everything constructed since the mid-60s is supposed to stand 7 on Richter scale, except our greenhouses, and they are not covered by insurance. The last heavy earthquake in the area took place in 2008. Was 6.3 on Richter. The greenhouses badly damaged. But the gardeners got some compensation from the state, so they could start all over again. Those gardeners are very much in flowers and vegetables. They could grow southern fruit as well, and some of them do, bananas and whatever. But that's only for fun and decoration. The truth is, such plants take a lot of space. It is cheaper for us to import fruit instead of putting the entire south on the glass. But some gardeners do it for themselves. I've seen a coffee tree there. It's enough for 1 cup of coffee for Christmas. Oh, police is here. What happened here? They went the wrong way. No, it does not rain all the time, but we have very changeable weather. It's raining, then it stops raining, then we have sunshine. We can have sunshine for a day or two, and some rain, but there is no monsoon season, no dry season. In that sense, we have a lot of rain. That's why we got the glaciers, hot springs, and waterfalls, and enough water, hot or cold, whatever needed. Excellent drinking water. You can drink it from the tap, the cold water, the hot water taste of something. And here, speaking about water, here they have swimming pools, indoors, outdoors. Outdoor pools are open all year round, all winter long. There is enough hot water. They pump it in and out all the time. There are natural steam baths and hot tubs up to 40 degrees. People are sitting in there and boiling until they are done. From the very beginning, the settlers understood to enjoy the geothermal water, but there was no sauna tradition due to the lack of wood, first of all. Let's take a quick look at this unique village here. I'm going to try this one again. The greenhouse village, hot spring garden, like they call it. A Sunday morning, people at home asleep with hangover, I guess. But Icelanders like to celebrate on the weekends. There is an old habit all around the Arctic Circle. If they ever open a bottle, they never close it again. I'm doing this little bit of sightseeing first of all because there is a car bringing some further participants who are going to join us. Let's hope they catch up with us. Many greenhouses has been demolished here in the area in recent years because investors are buying the land for apartments, to build apartments. Anyway, we are self-sufficient almost when it comes to flowers and vegetables here. This is what it looks like on a Sunday morning in the greenhouse. There is a geothermal field here to the left. Just made a fence around it so people do not stumble in there coming back from the pub. Old springs. You see, in the good old days, when the people were extremely poor and there was no wood to burn, those who had a hot spring on the land, they could cook their meals in there. But then everything did taste of sulfur. And hot springs were good enough for all kind of things. There were, for example, in the old days, they had one hot spring here to the left where they carried all their garbage into it. The garbage hot spring, they called it. It's hard to believe, isn't it? And it was like the garbage disappeared in there forever. But in 1970, there was a huge volcanic eruption in the Hekla volcano. And suddenly all the hot springs here in the geothermal field started boiling like hell. And finally the garbage hot spring exploded and all the stinky garbage ended up here in the neighborhood. So from then on they learned to use garbage bins, which is much more safer in case. But maybe in the old days garbage was a bit more organic. Anyway, and then the other hot springs for cooking the potatoes. It's quite interesting. One day the people learned to bake bread in the hot springs, but in closed iron boxes. Takes 20 hours, then the hot spring bread is ready. Some people still do it just for fun, you know. And there were volcanic eruptions in 1973 on the Westman Islands. They are about 13 kilometers offshore. In January 73 it started, and all 5,000 inhabitants from the Westman Islands were evacuated in one night with fishing vessels and aeroplanes. No one hurt, nobody died. Half a year later they could return and restore their community, and which was more or less on the volcanic ash and lava. And the volcanoes, the craters, they were still very hot, so people started to bake bread in them, in closed iron boxes. 20 hours, and they got their lava bread. And suddenly the Queen of Denmark was knocking at Iceland's door. Frequent visitor, very popular here. And she wanted to fly to the Westman Islands and see how they are doing after this catastrophe. And they got the terrific idea over there to offer the Queen lava bread. Why not? But they forgot to put the box into the crater the night before her arrival. So when they realized in the morning there was a situation, it is in the protocol what to do. Well, they just went to the bakery, bought some bread, pushed it into the box, on into the crater, saying when she arrives around midday, it will be hot. No one knows what went wrong here. Good idea. The Queen arrives, they brought her up to the crater, they found the box. The bread was very hot and good smelling, tasty, she liked it. But before she left the island, she asked them, very polite way, very confidential of course, about the bread, she said. Yes, Your Honor. 20 hours in the box in the crater? Yes, Your Honor. And it comes out sliced. I guess the Queen had a lot of fun on the plane flying back, but this was a well-kept secret in the diplomatic relationship between Iceland and Denmark for many years. Now it has been lifted finally. We shall take a break in the service center, the only one here, and it's what I'm used to call humanitarian breaks, you see. The next opportunity for bathroom or restroom and refreshments will be after almost 2 hours, I guess, yeah. And in here, since I mentioned the earthquakes, there is a small earthquake exhibition in here, the service center. And in there, it's free entrance, and in there you can see how it looks like inside an ordinary kitchen after an earthquake of 6.3. It's a hell of a mess. But I mean, the average Icelander would say this is like my kitchen after a good Saturday night party. Why is this car parking here? Hello? Is this a bus? Let us take a 15 minutes humanitarian break here. There is a bakery. You are welcome to bring a coffee with you. I do the same. Coffee with red solid coffee to go. 15 minutes break, ladies and gentlemen. And then we better go. And then I will see what we do with those others catching up with us, hopefully. We shall welcome them. Oh yeah, thank you.
Maybe he will step
do
up.
we need that line here? Yeah, maybe.
Right? Huh? Like maybe he'll step up.
Maybe Dante.
Not a problem. Not a problem.
And now the time for the above that.
Are you gonna just
You
go
doing? You're stupid.
here? Step up. Yes. Wait a second. Will my connection last long enough? Let's see here. If the connection cuts out, I'll run back because I want to do just a long continuous Reykjavik vlog uninterrupted.